Your daily walks with your dog can either strengthen or destroy your bond. So let's look at how we can boost your connection and what cues can help you improve your relationship. First, be sure you walk in areas your dog can actually handle. So if your dog is a little bit stressed around humans or a little bit stressed around other dogs, start in areas where you can either control the distance to those things or walk in an area that is just more relaxing for your dog. Second, be sure you use tools that are comfortable for your dog. So I like a well-fitting harness rather than a collar because we can never know when something scary will happen and the dog jumps and the leash tightens, and that's just more comfy with the harness. And no, harnesses are not designed to pull. That would be a completely different kind of harness. A regular walking harness is in no way destroying your loose leash walking if you have trained it well. So I like to use them rather than a collar. The leash has to be long enough so your dog can slip freely and move as freely as possible, right? We have to think about safety as well. But a 6-foot length is most of the time a good way to start, even if you have a very strong dog. And I like to have a treat pouch or toys or things that I can just use to reward my dog. And the most important thing about these tools is that we can put them on voluntarily. So the dog actually participates in putting them on and doesn't like cringe away or run away if you take out the harness, something like this. So this is something that can set the walk up for being something nice or being something scary, right? And if you're not sure about what leash you can get, check the description. My favorite leashes are in the description. And as we're talking about leashes, keep the leash loose. So loose leash walking is kind of a two-way street, right? You have to keep the leash loose if you want your dog to keep the leash loose. And that's more tricky with small dogs than it is with large dogs, because with a small dog, if the dog stops, we sometimes don't even realize it and we're already pulling. So watch what your dog's doing without staring at your dog. That's uncomfortable. But try to anticipate what's going to happen. Try to anticipate what your dog's going to do and react before your dog gets into pulling mode or before you drag your dog along. We need that most when our dogs stop to sniff at something. Our dogs are nose animals, right? So they are interested mostly in smells. Yes, some dogs like to watch stuff as well, but the smells are really our dog's world. So if your dog stops, stop with him and pay attention to what your dog's interested in. That kind of gives you a whole different kind of connection. Your dog will realize that you're actually interested in his hobbies, and that strengthens your bond, as well as helping your dog in situations that are just overwhelming or a little bit scary. So, for example, if you meet another dog and your dog tenses up, or if you are walking by some people sitting in a restaurant and your dog is trying to walk in a curve, go with your dog. Help your dog through these situations. Help your dog with providing a way out. That can be turning around. It can be walking in a curve. It can be focusing on you. It can be anything. So many different things, and it really depends on your dog and what helps your dog in the situation. And to be able to help your dog in the situations, you need specific cues to tell your dog what you want instead of waiting for mistakes. Because if you wait for a mistake, your dog will definitely make them. And then you have only the option of ignoring the mistake or correcting it. And both aren't really nice techniques, neither for you nor for your dog or your connection. So think about beforehand what you can use in situations, different ones, and train them beforehand. So that can be an attention cue. So your dog turns around and looks at you. It can be recall. It can be hand target. So your dog touches his nose to your hand. And of course, a marker signal. and why the marker signal is actually the most important thing you can ever teach your dog, you will learn in this video.